Welcome back, my lovely beans. Look at that beauty. We got her. She is finally here. It is time. Are we getting a drum roll? Yay! We have Yareli Prime. She's here. And regarding that, we do have to make a new Yareli guide. Because I do love her. She got a buff. She was already good. But now she is good. She's perfect. She is actually perfect. She looks gorgeous. And she got a buff. Orders, I'm simping. Can you be quiet? I'm simping. So, lovely beans, go watch it. Enjoy her. Good luck with your farm. And thank you for being here. The blueprint is a Neo A14 for the uncommon part. The chassis is a Liv Z4 for the common part. And the rear parts are the neuroptics and the systems. The neuroptics is a Liv Y1 and the systems is a XE Y1. What are the difference between Yareli and Yareli Prime? Yareli Prime actually got a, in my opinion, huge buff. Because you both got a shield buff and an energy buff. Her shield went up to 650 from 555 and her energy base got up to 315 from 300. She also has now a higher sprint speed with 1.1. In addition to that, you do start now with the Metarai, a Namaron and a Vazarin polarity, which open up a lot of base builds with no additional formers. Yareli's first ability are Sea Snares. With these ones you lift enemies and you do apply damage vulnerability. If enemies do have Overguard, you will not lift them, but you still apply damage vulnerability. The damage vulnerability are technically 100% at base strength, or they do scale with ability strength. But due to cold procs, you actually do get at base strength already 125% damage vulnerability. You do cast 5 bubbles at a time, and they technically linger around if they don't hit an enemy, but the detection radius of them kinda slow down if they are hovering on the field, so it is better to recast them. Yareli's second ability is Merlina. You are for 4 seconds invulnerability while you're getting on her, or even if you're using Loyal Merlina. Merlina is technically immune to the slowing effect of the hobbled dragon key, so technically if you want to farm dragon keys for corrupted mobs, that Merlina or Yareli is maybe a good call for that. Merlina's health pool is not affected by total eclipse or adaptation, but you can technically get more armor for her by blue Archon Shards. One of the more important things, in my opinion, is the damage redirection. Merlina is taking 90% of the damage that is meant for Yareli. So, Yareli redirects 90% of all incoming damage from Yareli to Merlina's health. This ability lasts as long as Merlina has health, or till you dismount or you unequip Merlina. And the best way to regain health from Merlina is to recast her. And Merlina's health is shown on the bottom right above your abilities. Yareli's third ability is called Aqua Blades. There you do have a spinning blade around you that is scaling with ability strength. It is sadly not scaling off of range. It resolves clockwise around Yareli, striking all enemies within a radius of 5 meters. And the main issue with Aqua Blades is that after 3 consecutive hits within 0.5 seconds, enemies that receive these hits are immune for a short period of time before they can take further slash damage from Aqua Blades. Yareli's fourth ability is Riptide. You are sucking enemies into a big whirlpool and apply cold damage, which scales off ability strength. The detection range of enemies are fixed. The range that you're applying is how far away you can place Riptide actually. Yareli owns 3 arguments. 2 of these arguments are for Merlina. One argument is called Merlina's Guardian. With this argument, enemies eliminated during C-snares, heal Merlina for 20% of their health. Upon healing, gain 200% reload speed and fire rate on secondary's weapon for 20 seconds, but you're still riding on Merlina. The heal is affected by ability strength, and the buff duration is affected by ability duration. Reload speed and fire rate bonus are not affected by extra mods. And the buff only triggers if Merlina is not full HP. The second argument for Merlina is called Loyal Merlina. With this one, Yareli will no longer ride on Merlina. You will have her as a little extra pet next to you. And the benefit is that Merlina casts now C-snares on nearby enemies with a 2-second cooldown. This cooldown is actually affected by ability efficiency. That's one of the reasons why Yareli is a frame you do want to run with positive efficiency. Yareli still receives the damage reduction and the status effect immunity bonus that she gets even or like while she would ride Merlina. And the benefit is that the C-snares that Merlina is casting are stacking with the C-snares that are Yareli casting and is multiplicative for the damage vulnerability. And technically with Loyal Merlina you could trigger Arcane Kamisado. The third argument for Yareli is Searching Blade. With this one, you can activate Searching Blade while it's being triggered because usually it is not a recastable ability. And you hurl extra blades or you throw blades. These gain 10% damage when any Aqua Blades hits an enemy. No cost to throw while riding Merlina. That's a little bonus. 4 builds. The first build that I want to show you is my Void Cascade build. That, if you know, I already did a Yareli video. But since Yareli Prime does have a higher shield and a slightly better energy economy, since we are having 15 more energy base, I changed my build slightly. I don't run primary direction anymore and also not catalyzing shield, which would be like the opposite idea, right? With Boreat's Hatred, we do get nearly 2.4 seconds of shield invulnerability. It's not full 2.5, but it's close enough. That's with Yareli's second together, we do get enough time with the 4 seconds of time invulnerability, with fast deflection to more or less getting our shield completely back. The idea behind that build is growing power for a little bit more strength, sure-footed simply for knockdown resistant. If you have prime sure-footed, put it here in. If you want to run something else, feel free to run something in. Prime continuity simply to balance out fleeting expertise. Fleeting expertise is simply with Boreat's Hatred partially to get the positive efficiency because that is reducing the cooldown on Loyal Merlina. So Loyal Merlina is simply putting out more C-snares. Rolling guards as always for the Upsies and the status clans. Fast deflection to recharge our shield. Argo Secret simply to have an Argo mod on, especially if I don't run a Sentinel or a weapon where I get Argo mods. At the moment I do have a weapon on, but usually I don't want to like pay attention. Also a little bit more strength. Archon Stretch simply for energy economy and to have a little bit more range on the detection on my C-snares, and Loyal Merlina to not ride on Merlina. For Arcanes, I choose Arcane Position for more damage on my secondaries and Mold Argument for a little bit more strength. You don't need Mold Argument, so if you want to run something else, you can, for example, run Aegis in this case, because you actually do have enough shield that it's worth it. Or you can run Agility to have more Parker Velocity if you don't want to run a yellow chart on her, or whatever you feel comfortable with. For Subsume on this build, by the way, I personally choose Amamoru because Amamoru is a little bit of a safety guard. Whenever you get hit, there is a chance that it is healing you or giving you your shield back. Other than Amamoru, you can also run Silence. Why Silence? It simply stops violence from silencing you and it stops Sphaxes from doing bullshit. You can technically run Raw or Nourish, but it is not needed simply due to the passive of Yareli with 200% crit chance for secondary weapons. You do definitely have enough damage on Yareli. Since health tanking is a big topic, I thought we are also doing a health tank build. Why a health tank build? No specific reason. I thought we are testing it. We are running specifically a mecha set. You probably would run the set with a Raksha, and there you would put the rest of the mecha set. I will show you in a second why specifically a Raksha. We are running, obviously, the 2 mecha mods. We are running Loyal Marlena again, Fleeting Expertise for the positive efficiency on Loyal Marlena. Prime Continuity is always to balance that out. Umbral Vitality and Umbral Intensify. If you don't want to have Umbral Vitality or want to balance out the capacity cards, absolutely fine to run normal vitality. Yes, you do lose a little bit of health, but it's still fine. Health conversion for the extra armor stacks and adaptation for the damage reduction. Yes, Marlena itself can't get the adaptation, but you will get it. And yes, technically you do have the redirection of the damage, but it can't be enough technically to even make that stronger. You can put on Eclipse either on the 3rd or 4th. That is up to you where you want to put it. You can have the Aqua Blades on, or you can put it over the Riptide. That is up to you, but I would suggest to run Eclipse on this build. For Arcanes, we do have Arcane Blessing and Arcane Precision. For the 3rd build, we did a shield tank build. For the aura mod, we chose Corrosive Projection. Technically, if you want to have something else, you can also run Growing Power. You can run Holster Amp if you want to. You can also run Warframe Camaraderie here. Or if you want to go melee for some reason, Swift Momentum or Steel Charge. As always, the same combination: Prime Continuity to balance out Fleeting Expertise, Loyal Marlena, Fast Deflection, and Vigilant Vigor for the shield recharge, Prime Redirection for the shield itself. You do want to have Marlena for the 4 seconds of invulnerability so that the shield can recharge. Aegis, the same, Precision for extra damage, Adaptation for the stacks for the damage reduction, and Umbral Intensify simply for a little bit more strength. For a classic beginner build, that is on my normal Yareli because I already had that build. As always, we are starting with Streamer's Bond because Streamer's Bond is from a quest reward. Intensify for a little bit more strength on the Aqua Blades and on the Sea Snares. Flow for a bit of energy economy, not absolutely needed, but it's fitting in our capacity cost. Streamline for the efficiency because we do want to have for Loyal Marlena because that is a mod that I highly suggest to have a shorter cooldown. Usually I don't suggest Augments, but I would suggest it if you're fine with riding on Marlena and you have fun, absolutely go for it. But riding on Marlena kind of forces you to use secondaries, and not everyone is comfortable with that. So if you can get your hands on it, go get your hands on it. Fast Deflection, it will help you stay alive. Stretch for more range, Continuity for duration, and Equilibrium for a little bit of a better energy economy. Don't max your Equilibrium out. It's way too high in capacity cost and also way too high in ender cost. It's totally fine to have it at rank 6. And this build, by the way, fits on a 0 former. Now, especially since Yareli Prime, if you get a Yareli Prime, has 1 more. For Archon Shards for the Void build, I would suggest 1 Tauforge Green, 1 Parker Velocity, 1 Casting Speed, because Casting Speed is influencing her 1 and her 2, and that's the 2 abilities that you will rather use a lot. I personally run 1 Tauforge Equilibrium. You don't really need Flow, but I would suggest at least an Equilibrium. I do currently run 1 Blue Shard for Energy Max, just for comfort, but if you want to run something else here, what, for example, would work really well is a Orange Shard for crit chance. For more crit chance, that would work really well. For the mecha, like for the health tank and for the shield tank, that is absolutely up to you what you want to run. You can run blue shards for more armor. You can run red shards for more strength. You can run orange shards for crit chance for your weapon. So definitely run whatever you feel comfortable with. I definitely would suggest to still run the purple shards for Equilibrium because both builds don't have Equilibrium on to make it more comfortable for you. But besides that, test around what you feel comfortable with. We want to use the Raxa specifically because of the Protect mod. It replenishes both their shields by 30% of its maximum shield and adding a shield generation rate to its master for 3 seconds. For that, it needs to be alive. right? That's like the little clue. You need to be careful that your pet is actually alive. But that, together with the mecha and technically also the mod hunter recovery, will help you a lot. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a like and give me some feedback. And I have a question. I did add in the background some music because people were saying that they, or suggested, that I have some background music on. So feel free to tell me if you prefer quiet or if you prefer background music. So thank you so much and have a wonderful day.